Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy, the Kryptonian, saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 461. And I'm loving this chapter, man. And a big part of the reason is Luffy, like Sanji says, Luffy has a way of just getting right to the point. And Luffy says, okay, we won't get any food before sunrise, right? So I'll just go find this Moria guy. I'll go kick his ass and everything will be okay. And at first, when I read that, I said, oh shit, this is Luffy logic. And then when I read what Sanji said, I said, wait a second, Luffy is actually redeeming himself. He had that Luffy big dummy moment where he got his shadow taken from him, but when you think about it, he does have a good plan, and he even makes it sound very simple. And I love Chopper's reaction. This is one of those moments where I'm like, oh, Chopper, he's high. I'm not even like that. Like, Chopper is acting like a very concerned friend because Luffy says, it's simple. We just need to beat one of these warlords. I've done it before. I've whooped Crocodile's ass. I made some fucking crocodile shoes out of that bitch. And when you think about it, like, Luffy did whoop his ass, but like Chopper said, it came at a price. He almost killed him more than once. And the thing about that, like Luffy, I believe Luffy needed 3 cracks at Crocodile before he was able to get him. So just looking at this and looking at Moria and the fact that he's deeper in the Grand Line and it feels like we're working towards the new world, knowing all of this, it's looking like Luffy's going to be facing someone who probably isn't on the level of somebody like Whitebeard or Shanks or Doflamingo, but he's definitely a big player, and Luffy's gotten better, and this would be a good judge of how much he's improved, because if it turns out this Moria guy is stronger than Crocodile, which right now, if I take my own bias, my own theory out of this, which is because the deeper you go in the Grand Line, the stronger you are, that's my theory. However, if I were just to look at the characters and look at how he's going about things, I would think that Moria is actually weaker than Crocodile. And the reason for it is actually quite simple. When you look at the way Oda writes, you gain a lot by the way the characters act. And I don't see Crocodile going through gathering zombies in order to build an army. Crocodile, yeah, he did kind of do like a little roundabout thing to take over Alabasta, operating in the shadows. But at the same time, the guy was able to throw down, and all of his numbered agents were super powerful. And when you look at that and how complex the system is, I feel like Crocodile's probably stronger, but Moria is more cunning, more of a cut corners type of character. So I look at it, maybe if Moria does become stronger than Crocodile, if he is proven to be stronger than Crocodile, then my whole theory gets shot out. But I think that when you look at these warlords, one of the things that we're going to see as we go deeper into One Piece is some of them are going to be really, really strong, and others are going to bring something else to the table. They are going to be powerful in their own right, but they're probably going to have hacks abilities. And it's something that I like, and when I talk to people about Naruto, one of the things I tell them is you don't have to be the strongest fighter in Naruto to win, but if you've got a really hacks ability, then chances are you can do some major damage and raffle stomp somebody. Like, say you take Obito Uchiha, for example. Obito's pretty fucking strong in his own right, but his abilities are hacks. The guy can make himself intangible for 5 minutes, and you gotta attack his ass 5 minutes in a row before you're able to land a fucking hit on his ass. So looking at that and looking at this devil fruit power that Moria has, it feels like that's why Oda gave it to him. I think Luffy's probably stronger by a wide margin, but that devil fruit ability is what gives him the advantage. And speaking of advantages, his army's pretty damn good. We already know that Absalom can turn himself invisible, which is another potentially hacks ability. However, I'm calling it, Sanji's going to have some type of moment where he gets into a super pervy mode, and he probably smells like the shampoo on a strand of Nami's hair on Absalom when he turns invisible, or Nami's scents all over him. Some kind of way, he's going to use Nami as a way to land a hit when he fights Absalom. But when Sanji finds out that Nami is basically going to be getting married to this guy, I'm getting my Final Fantasy wish when Yuno was getting married to Seymour, and you had Titus kind of just jumping in there, and you had the big throwdown. it's looking like Sanji's gonna crash this shit, and I cannot wait for it because you got Usopp just riling this dude up. Like, it's bad enough Sanji's finding out that Nami is gonna be getting married, which I thought it was interesting to have him kind of react that way because I think I said this before. I know that there are some people who ship like the Nami Luffy type thing, and it's too early for me to even talk about ships and shit. That's not something I particularly enjoy doing. But at the same time, I could see Oda potentially kind of weaving some stuff in there for Nami and Sanji right now. Right now it's pretty one-sided, but depending on how this kind of pans out, we could see something there. So I've got my eye on that because unfortunately shit like that is a part of storytelling, is part of the shonen tropes that you have to kind of look for. So it's one of those things like I'm very interested to see how Oda kind of tackles that part. But I love the second part of this where Sanji gets super pissed when Usopp says, yeah, I forgot to tell you. He was spying on Nami naked in the shower, and when she was taking a bath, and the dude Sanji absolutely loses it. You see the flames just shooting all around him, done for comedic purposes. That was pretty cool. But the thing is when Sanji's going through kicking everybody's asses, kicking dudes in the face, one of the things that crossed my mind is he doing this for Nami's honor, which is possible, Sanji's a gentleman, or is he doing this more so for the fact that someone else saw Nami naked before him? I'm more inclined to think that it's the latter reason, that he's just upset that someone else saw Nami in all of her epic proportions and godliness or goddessness or whatever the type of word is, because I hate to break it to you. But see, like Nami's up here, Vivi's right here, Kaya's right here, and then Nico Rob. I'm just fucking with you. I'm not just gonna trigger somebody. I'm just fucking with you right now. But the thing is like I could see Sanji potentially fighting for Nami's honor, but at the same time looking at Nami saying, so when am I gonna see you in the shower, baby? I could see Sanji pulling some shit like that, man. And the other thing I thought was pretty cool is how the Straw Hats break up into their groups, where you have Zoro and Frankie teaming up. That was interesting. That's a team up I was not expecting, because when you have the potential for comedy with these two, with Zoro getting lost and Frankie being a damn cyborg, have all these wacky techniques, Zoro being one of those characters. Zoro strikes me so far as a character who's serious but does have his goofy moments, but for the most part he's pretty damn serious. And it's like Frankie is that character, he's a goofball. He's got some powerful attacks, but he's a goofball. And I'm wondering if Oda put those two together for the reason that Zoro, in a way, is like Iceberg. I could see Zoro, God forbid he has to chart a ship, but I could see Zoro potentially doing something like Iceberg where he is the mayor, or maybe Zoro runs his own dojo or something like that. But I could see Zoro in some type of leadership role when it comes to being responsible for huge groups of people, just like Iceberg. And you need an Iceberg there to keep Frankie's eccentric nature in check, because think about it. The only other character that he could go with is Nico Robin, and it doesn't make sense to put these two back together because Nico Robin and Frankie have their shadows. When you look at the way that they're broken up, with the exception, I believe, Luffy and Sanji. Well, Sanji's going with Usopp. Luffy, I think Luffy's going by himself. So when you look at how everybody's broken up, they're broken up with somebody who has a shadow and somebody who doesn't. So what I'm prognosticating is we're going to get to a point where these fights are just breaking out and the sun's going to come up, and the Straw Hats who don't have the shadows are going to have to hide, and the new members, what I was hoping for, are going to have to pick up the weight. So you're going to have a situation where Usopp is going to have to defeat somebody. You have a situation where Frankie is going to have to defeat somebody. You're going to have a situation where potentially Chopper and Nico Robin are going to have to bail out Luffy in some type of way. I could see something like that, but I like how the chapter ended off where you have Luffy and the Straw Hats coming into contact with his zombie, and it's just like what I believe it was Usopp said, that it's twice as big as a normal zombie, it's twice as big as a giant. And you have Zoro saying, what's this wall made out of? I can't cut through it. And the fact that Luffy's zombie is so damn childish, more childish than Luffy, I feel like. I feel like some kind of way that zombie has regressed in terms of maturation. And it just shows you Luffy has grown. Like, I can see Luffy getting on top of the ship saying, oh my god, it's a whole new world out here. However, at the same time, I could also see Luffy looking at it and saying, I'm going to be Pirate King. This would be pretty damn cool. Nami, go chart this bitch. I could see something like that. And I love the fact that Luffy Zombie is so disruptive that they can't do their dances. I also like the whole thing with the belly dance that Dr. Holback was talking about. That's, Oda getting, his classic Oda humor in there. But I like the fact that we're going to see Luffy versus his zombie this early on. This is going to be pretty interesting, but I'm looking forward to the fights that are coming up. And in some kind of way, I'm actually finding myself to a point where I'm somewhat wanting this arc to go longer. Personally, I feel like this arc needs to last maybe 2 more volumes. Anything more than that, Oda's pushing it. Like this, because I believe if we go past 2 more volumes, we've gone further than the Davy back arc, and this feels the same thing. Like, this is just an arc that is needed to kind of show off the new Straw Hat's abilities, just like the Davy back arc was meant to bring them closer together and to have Luffy understand the full burden of what it means to be a captain. I feel like this is just to show off the new Straw Hat's abilities and to make the stronger Straw Hats realize that sometimes you got to depend on others. And that's going to be my chapter question to you guys, which is, what are your thoughts on the fact that Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji were all captured? They had their shadows taken. They're the 3 strongest members of the Straw Hats, and we could potentially see a scenario where they have to depend on their crewmates. What do you think that does for their character? And out of all 3 of them, which character do you think will be affected the most by having to depend on one of their crewmates? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video, guys. Have an awesome day.